He is a gig worker trying to make money using his car. He uses multiple gig apps all at the same time to maximize his earnings. But this can be difficult and dangerous while driving. Sometimes the requests come in so fast, Joe can't pick and choose the best trips to take, which can result in lower pay or lower rated disruptive passengers. That was until Joe found Maximo, the automation app that helps gig workers accept and decline trip requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and rating, to determine which trips are best suited for Joe. When a trip request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will compare the trip details to Joe's filters and then determine if it should automatically accept the trip, decline the trip, or allow Joe to decide by showing the per mile and per minute rates. When a trip has been accepted, Maximo will turn off the other apps that aren't on a trip. Once Joe finishes a trip, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to reduce his stress and frustration, drive safe, and focus on the important tasks. Check out Maximo at www.maximoapp.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the RiDESHARE Rodeo Roundtable. Thank you for joining us, but before I just do the normal intro, I want to give everybody like a little more intro tonight. I want to start with Kim. So we got Kim's Side Money Plans. Kim's got her show on the RiDESHARE guy now. Big deal, you know. I mean, this is a big deal. Like she's got a show that runs the next day after Show Me the Money Club with Zach. And, you know, the RiDESHARE guy, know Harry well, had enough faith in her to do that. That's a big deal. So Kim, welcome as always, and congrats.
Thank you.
And next week, I will be on Kim's Tuesday, because one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit tonight is what has been happening with gig workers, because not really anybody I'm talking to is in the know. I've watched it twice now through. It is a sad story, but if you watch the committee hearing, and I was just telling these guys, like, I know it's hard to sit through that whole 2 hours, but it's not a boring normal committee meeting. This thing goes off the rail, and in a good way. Like if you've seen Karen Anderson and Kim Cavan on here before, they are not just in it for a minute here and there. They have a good, of the 2 hours, they probably both speak, I don't know, 20 minutes each. And they get asked questions by all of the House of Representatives in DC and both sides, and they both killed it, just killed it. So if you did watch it, awesome for you. If you didn't, go over and watch even a part, give it a link. It's in my community tab. So it is worth watching. I think there's about 8 minutes. Just scrub till it starts, because it's got like the building up, and obviously this is how these start, and then when they start, they kill away from it. So it's not till about 10-11 minutes in that it actually starts. So, but check it out. It was actually it's very much worth watching, and every gig worker should watch it. I was surprised. It does talk about traditional gig work too, but they really nailed into the gig economy, which I was actually very surprised about. I knew they'd talk about it, but not that much. It's something everybody needs to watch. We also have Hannibal, and I'm proud of Hannibal now, because
what did I do?
You didn't do anything. You did something
okay.
good.
Oh, I don't remember doing anything.
You did something good.
Oh, good. That's good.
That's good. No, but I saw your community post, and like, I mean, clearly, like, I do a lot of lives. I don't cut them up and stuff, so I'm not even in the ballpark of what he posted. But Hannibal's like seriously got some views on his channel, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of the shorts is kind of taking off, and being more consistent, obviously, kind of following some of the people who really put a lot of videos up, but they do work when you find the right videos and stuff like that. But yeah, the channel has been going pretty well. But before I guess we get more into talking about the show and everything, I want to bring this up because I've been thinking about it all day. Dashing Trader, if you guys are familiar with him, I'm sure you guys checked out his channel, his content. Yeah, he put a community post talking about his daughter, 4 years old. She's on life support right now.
Yep.
She has fighting rhinovirus, and she has really bad asthma. So, just send prayers to him. He's a good man.
Oh, yeah.
Hardworking dude. I mean, he puts a lot of effort into gig work and obviously making content, stuff like that. Stuff that he puts. Even he's doing content for Pedro's channel as well. Just put your thoughts and prayers to him because he definitely needs it, and
100%.
hopefully his daughter kind of comes out of it. But I can't even imagine. My son is just regular sick.
We all have
And I'm
kids,
panicking,
we all have kids
so
here, so
we all have kids, so definitely prayers to him, and hopefully everything kind of comes out in the positive way. So
yeah, I texted him. I left him a message on his post, and I saw the first post too that she was airlifted out. I was just, I mean, that kind of even adds to the seriousness. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
it's
Well, prayers to hit him in
at
his
least.
family.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah.
Obviously, prayers to him, and he's a good guy. But what I will say is that she's at the hospital in good hands. So.
And
she's at the right place for what's happening. So prayers, of course, but
it's just even though I don't never met him personally, not yet, but like this family that we have here of gig workers, content creators, but people who we all doing the same thing. So when people get these crazy times and crazy situations, you just you want to be there to support them. So
yeah, and I know Trader is supposed to be doing something with Hannibal next Tuesday, and he's supposed to be doing something with me the Tuesday after May 2nd.
He works. He's always
if those get canceled or delayed, guys, this is why. And
yes,
clearly that's not even on our minds. The only thing on our minds is his kids. So so thank you, Hannibal. Yeah, I don't know that I would have forgotten to say that, but I was putting notes together here last minute. But thank you for mentioning that.
No problem.
But you took away from me giving you a compliment at the same time. So
it's fine.
On a nicer note, Hannibal is crushing it. I saw it was like 5, and I know some, like you're saying, some were shorts, great, whatever. But I saw 564% up on your post or something. I don't know, something just
consistent.
ridiculous.
You gotta be consistent. Yeah, you gotta put a lot of effort. And Kim knows that. Steve, you guys keep me going because I see that you guys put something up. I see Pedro. We kind of, it's not necessarily competition at all, but you see content being put up, value being, you're like, okay, let me think. It kind of forces you to be creative because you look at Pedro and you're like, how the hell he does this every day. So I can't do a full video every day, but a little short reacting to something, like I can do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, but also, I mean, Hannibal has better editing skills than, like, say me. I mean, maybe not as Kim's like kind of in that. I have none. I can put content together, but audio, I can do a great job with audio. But
Hannibal kicks butt with editing. Are you kidding me?
Man. Yeah, like I was trying to imagine, like, if Hannibal put something together, and even if I saw the final product and I had all the footage, I'm wondering how long it would take me and it still wouldn't look as clean. But I'm wondering, like, I'd be like, finally, like, here it is, Hannibal. He'd be like, how long did it take you? I'd be like 7 hours. He's like, dude,
listen,
11
it's all learned from YouTube. I did not go to a class. It's all just checking out a bunch of YouTube videos. You can learn anything over here.
Hey, better than me. I'm too lazy to make any type of video.
Well, hold on though. See, we all do different things. That's what I'm saying. Live, and now you're not getting off the hook either, Gary, because Gary's killing it too. Gary made that Gig Wars app. It was in beta mode, I believe. I think you told me one side, but I believe both now are out of beta. Are they not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So both are out of beta for Gig Wars. You can find that on the Play Store on iOS.
Yep.
And I know that's really getting some traction. I dropped in on it for a minute today and talked to Red, and she said that she was on Rideshare Garage last night, which, funny enough, Vinny, who runs Rideshare Garage, he was like he started up his audio podcast like 3 months before my audio podcast. So I before I ever got to YouTube, I knew about Rideshare Garage and Vinny. I'd never seen his face, nothing, but I'd interacted with him like through audio stuff and through the podcasting app. So it's funny that then I come here and I haven't seen Rideshare Garage be on YouTube until about 4 months ago. Now I see it every week, and I'm like, wait, I've been listening. Their podcast's been out for 4 years or 3.5 years, and now I don't know if it was on YouTube before too, but it is on it now. So check that out. I know Red from Gig Wars was on there, And I know that she got some rideshare drivers on there. I think she might even be sitting on the panel weekly now. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So I mean, just wins all the way around. Again, Gary made another app though. He's got a secret app that he won't tell any of us about because he's Gary.
I've told Kim.
I say I know it.
You told Kim. You didn't tell me. You probably didn't even tell his wife.
He was there, so she knows about
She don't
it.
care. Like I did tell her, she probably didn't even listen to me though. She's like, yeah, whatever. You must have gone.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. And guys, obviously, we are one person short, and by no means is that person not right up there with us. He's Dash Theory TV, John Dash, and we are missing him tonight. But he's at a baseball game. If he were here, I'd be giving him accolades. But he's not here, so I'm not gonna give him that.
You get
John,
nothing.
You are
I
listening.
will. He's been killing it lately on his Spark videos. Very informative, and he's been literally killing it on his Spark videos. So I'll give him credit since he's not here.
And I always do. I don't know if you guys remember. I told you that like John used to hit on. If you guys even watching right now aren't familiar, or if you've gotten familiar with John through this and you really haven't dove into his channel. He covers a lot. Like when I met John, he was teaching me about Shipped. I knew nothing about it. I was just getting on it, and I found his channel. And he not only had Shipped videos, he had like good info, not BS, not crap, like good info. And I was like learning from it. We started interacting, and that was November of 2021, I guess.
Yeah. He's smart. He's a smart dude.
I say his videos are so smart and to the point that it makes you want to watch like the whole entire thing through, because like he just gets it and he's just like, this is it, this is what happens, and it's like to the point, and you learn from it. So
yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason why we invited John of all the people to be the fifth guy on this show. I mean, John is the analytical guy too. He will take everything we say, and even if any of us go off on tangents, he kind of, okay, guys, let's bring that in and kind of and talk about what you were.
Steve goes on tangents. I can't.
I was talking about you, Hannibal.
I think to be honest, I thought he was always like the pitch hitter. Like he always came in or like the sixth man, and then someone kept calling out that it was okay.
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
Because we won't miss a beat because he has glasses and he also has other attributes the same. So it won't even make a difference. Like So I thought that's why. And also he's a great guy.
You thought he was a doppelganger?
I already told him. I think the first time I spoke to him.
If anybody is looking at if anybody has ever watched this and Hannibal's not here and John is, and you thought it was Hannibal, you got problems. Get glasses.
Hey, listen. I said you look like my cousin. I told him that. It's fine.
Right, but I'm saying he never wears a hat. John is bald.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he doesn't wear a hat.
Wait, why are you checking out John so much? I didn't even know he never wore a hat or that he was bald.
You've never noticed he doesn't wear?
No, I don't check out our co-hosts like that. Man. What's wrong with you? That's kind of creepish.
I don't know. I didn't know it was creepish to like say, hey, like John's bald.
So is it our turn to talk about Steve?
At least he's a good-looking bald guy.
Yeah, we can talk about Steve now. He's old.
It's our turn to talk about you now. So if you guys don't know, because you guys are already here, so you already know his channel, but Steve does such an amazing job for literally analyzing all the stuff that we don't want to analyze and puts it out for everybody and does a fantastic job at it. And you're going to learn so much from this live tonight because he's going to give you a lot of information on what's going on down in DC. There's a lot of stuff happening, but
that's a lot of pressure.
I know. Hats off to
Steve. Don't screw it up now. She gave you the ultimate hype there.
I know. Actually, guys, what I will say is we will capture some of it tonight, some of it tomorrow night. But really, what I'm trying to do tonight and tomorrow night is fine tune it for Kim's show to make it very simplistic and easy. And if you have questions, put it out there.
Yeah, Steve, Don't forget to go read.
He did read the new
DoorDash.
TOS.
I did read it.
Okay, so how
And
many
it's
words?
It's the first TOS I've ever read too, Gary. You
How
should
many?
be
How
proud
many?
of
Is
me.
it like long? I know it's boring, but is it a
It's
long
long.
read or is
Yeah,
it?
It's not really. I mean,
It's
Not
you
long.
don't-
It's just in
yeah.
legal terms, so you really
Yeah.
have to. I hate to say concentrate on it to
I
absorb.
don't. I
what-
don't even think it's in legal terms. Maybe I've just
Really?
read it so many times that I kind of.
Well, Gary, you have to read it. Gary has to.
No, yeah, I hear you, Gary. It's. I mean, like I don't read these like you do, but I read this one and I didn't think it was too legalese. It was pretty straightforward. It's not like I have to go back and read it 3 times. And go what?
I already
Like,
know.
I
what
was
I'm-
like,
I-
okay, I can read this.
I know how I'm unable to read it. I'm gonna get someone to read it for me. And Al.
I think that with a lot of us, to be honest, we just we don't want to read it. B, we're sure something is not good in there, and it's just going to piss us off more.
Right.
And we all know that you can't work the app unless you click the box. So you know what? It's either click it or read it and click it. And if you read it, you're just going to have probably a worse day, to be honest.
I know. I just tell everybody every time there's a new TOS, like you're gonna work, you're gonna
Call
read
Gary.
it. But well, no, don't call me. But I mean,
Don't call him.
believe it or not, it dropped, and I had like 12 messages. I'm like, geez, people, just click yes, because you're gonna click yes anyways. Now,
to do everything.
yeah,
right?
yeah, you're gonna click yes so you can go work. But the one thing I tell everybody every time there's a new TOS, from the day that it pops up, you have 7 days to opt out of arbitration. 7 days. If you don't want to be in arbitration.
Oh, there go Gary.
Gary's
Gary.
internet.
Oh, damn it.
Government internet.
I didn't read the TOS. What we gonna
really
do?
funny though.
Yeah.
Like he looks stunned that he bought the government internet.
I guess Steve sent me his government internet. What the hell?
He stream
How can I
sniped it.
hack you, Gary? You know all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Like I was fine until you got on here.
My thing with the new TOS is they have a habit of always putting it out exactly at the time of when some big rush hour is going to start, whether it's lunch, whether it's dinner, and people just want to go out and make money. And the only thing that drivers are going to do, they're going to hit agree. They're not going to read through everything. And God forbid there is a major update to the TOS, they're going to miss it completely because they just want to work. But
They're
to me,
gonna do
DoorDash
that
does-
anyways.
I know,
But
but to
Tim,
me,
I,
DoorDash does it
Tim,
on
I saw your
purpose.
video. I saw your video on that yesterday, and you're right. I mean, what? It came out at lunch.
Yeah.
So it was
But it
like
always
everybody
happens
that turns
that
on
way.
for lunch is like at a point where they're like, I'm not gonna. I need to work. I'm here. Fine.
But here's the thing though, like they could tell you, oh, it's gonna be active in August.
Right.
None of them would still read it.
Right. I mean, it could
Like,
say you're
yeah.
giving your firstborn son to them, and none of them would say. Now that wouldn't hold up in a court because that's not legal.
Well, I
don't think.
told you guys before in my terms of service.
You get our firstborns.
Well, no. I used to have a line in there on my terms of service for my apps that says, if you read this line, send me email and I will send you $100. Never ever had to pay that thing out. Ever.
I sent you like 10 emails. You never sent me 100.
No, you're not you.
You didn't get
Yeah.
mine yet?
Yeah. And so like nobody reads TOSs. That's the thing. But like I said, if you're gonna do one thing, opt out of arbitration the week that you see it. If that way you're not stuck in an arbitration clause.
Yeah.
But everything else you're gonna agree to and you're gonna go work, and 99% of the time it ain't gonna change anything.
So, as you guys all know, Ron, Entree Courier, him and I did a thing this week. It's worth watching. We talk about some of the states and some of what's going down, so we won't get into that tonight. But he put a tweet out, and I like this. I'm going to put it up on the screen, you guys, because he brings up a good point. Ron is an outside-the-box thinker for sure, and I want to see what you guys think of this. What is this? Right here. So, another subtle DoorDash contract change. They no longer have a deactivation policy. It's the service provider platform access policy. And in that change, DoorDash has violated their own contract. Dashers are to be notified by mail of changes to the policy. No email was sent to any Dashers. So I know that one of the things that I will say about what I learned about the new TOS is that the language has changed. It looks like they're going into defensive mode. Like they understand what's going on with some of the stuff we will talk about here in a little bit. What's going on in DC right now, because Kim Cavan and Karen Anderson, who are big friends of the podcast, have had them on many times. They both were two of the 6 people who testified in front of the whole House. And the House members were able to have at them in the hot seat. So Kim and Karen, you guys rocked. You were rock stars. I love you, ladies.
Now about what Ron posted there, the platform access policy, it is just the deactivation policy.
They just renamed it.
The what now?
It's still the deactivation policy is what it is.
What do you mean? Right. What do you mean, though? I mean, he's saying it's called this. Right. Back? I mean, it still can deactivate you, but a lot of that's what I'm saying. A lot of language has changed to the point where like, did that mean anything? And like you're saying, it might not mean anything, but the language is starting to change. And I have a feeling that's because things are getting very serious, as we will talk about. Very serious. In fact, if you guys didn't watch that link on my community tab, again, I'm going to say it, just take the time, listen to it in your car. It'll keep you excited. Because you will be like, you'll get angry, then you'll hear the other side, and then you'll like go, that's me. And then, it's everybody needs to listen to it. But yeah, so that said, so far, I want to say hi to the chat, and then we'll jump into some things, you guys. But I got to tell you, I am burnt. I have been really working with these ladies. This was their first time, both of them, being called into Congress or being called into a committee to talk about the devastation that that the rule change going into effect in May will create. And like I said, about 80% of the conversation is gig related. And when Kim made that remark about the person sitting next to her, who she's like, you mean this union lawyer? That union lawyer is out to get every one of. She was there representing gig workers, app-based gig workers, and she was straight up said she is there to get all of us. All of us need to be in unions. We all need to be employees. And if Julie Su gets elected, this is very likely to progress forward very quickly. In fact, she had her nomination hearing today. There were a lot of opposed Democrats, which I'm very glad about. Again, not saying a political side I'm on this. I'm an independent voter, but I'm saying you got the right completely opposing her, and you got a lot of the left saying, she's crazy. I mean, I said last week on the show, she lost the state of California during the pandemic. She lost 24 billion plus. And then in an article, they said 30, but it's actually $36.8 billion is what she lost the state of California during the pandemic of people who needed unemployment assistance. But she got all that scamming that was going on. She got it to them first, and then the people who needed it did not get it.
Terrible.
And that's mentioned in that was actually verified, not just mentioned in the committee hearing that I'm talking about. So, I mean, they just kind of breezed over it because there's no 2 cents about that happened. And that's now who is going to be in charge of the department, or who's going to be in charge of handling pushing this new rule change. Marty Walsh was a diehard lifer on believing in this, but he obviously took a job for the NHL, not just for the money jump, but because this war is going to get ugly. And if Julie Su does get nominated, we are all in for some changes, and that's fact. I mean, I don't know. Those changes might not be as bad. I don't know. And they were talking about state adoption, and there were some people on the board, like Stacey Abrams and stuff, who were saying, no, we're going to make even the right to work states do this. It's bad. It's these sides have, it almost seems like when I watched this, like they've never even tried to communicate and find some middle ground. It was like this was their first time in a room together, but I know that's not the case. But literally, it was just awful. But there's a lot of good in it too. So watch. That said, I want to say hi to what's up, Wendy. I haven't seen you in probably a year. Wendy used to watch the Friday show. What's up, Marissa? Hey, Red, how are you? What's up, Holly? Hey, Thomas.
That's why I rebooted, because I thought you was saying hi to everybody while I was rebooting.
You rebooted because your internet sucks.
No, I was coding all day today, and like, I guess I should have rebooted. But
Hey Kevin, what's up? What's up, Rick? What's up, Kevin T? What's up, Bud Soda? I know Bud Soda actually watched that, and I know Holly did too. They both watched the whole thing today. So,
Bud Soda actually give me the highlights. Give me the blow by blow.
But that'll take 4 hours to get the 2-hour meeting. I don't mean it mean. He's as heated as I am about this.
Yes.
No, he's as heated as me about this. This is crazy stuff. But where are we at? But so hey, what's up, John? If I'm in the chat, I think it counts as being present. Vote? No. I don't even. Yeah, because you're at a baseball game drinking a beer right now and just typing on your phone.
Wait, first off, you're in a baseball game. Stop watching us.
Yeah, I watched the baseball game.
So next time when I was watching Mario, so I can just text while I'm in a movie theater while this is happening, and I'll be in.
I mean, if that's the case, I don't think
can't you just have a chat I'll be here for you on the weeks you miss.
I can do the same thing. It's fine.
Hey, you know what? We can just put up, like a picture of us, and then we'll type in the chat.
Yeah, here's the problem, guys. We'd all do it 1 week, and then we'd come back and find out all of our AI self said everything wrong. That's not what I believe in. So what's up, Josh? What's up, Christopher Taylor? Hey, Cody C, how are you, man? And Ceci, how are you? Wow, I fell behind. Bigfoot Killer, what's up? And I think I'm maybe caught up. Yeah, I'm caught up. I think so. Okay, so hey guys, that's good to know. Oh, okay, and that was a comment from Gary. Okay, so we're gonna, before I do jump into some of that stuff, we're gonna what happened to change is good. Gary, did I hit that up or did you?
Oh, I put it up there.
Okay, so Kim, I know you talked about this yesterday, but we oh, thank you, Thomas. I really appreciate that. But we need to talk about this idiot. And I'm sorry to say that, but
no, that's the way I presented it, because she's a freaking idiot. Like,
Yeah,
there's a woman in Hannibal's area, New York City, who decided to get herself, even though I just really don't believe that this honestly happened, but whatever. She went to her rooftop and it was a one-way lock and got locked. But her solution was to order Uber Eats and order a burrito from Chipotle and put in the notes to the driver, buzz every person until someone gets you into the door, come to the rooftop and let me out.
That sounds like something that actually happened. No, that sounds like something happened. Yeah, that sounds like something would happen. Yeah, but it does come. It feels like It's Always Sunny sketch. It sounds like a comedy. Like, hey, I can't get out of this thing. They call it a pizza guy, and maybe he'll fish me out of this situation. But that sounds like something that would happen.
I mean, Kim was even mentioning this when she was talking about last night. She was even, like her and Zach were talking about, like, okay, can't you call 911? Can't you call?
That's probably a better
help.
Call 911. She can call her neighbor. She can call a friend. Like, why are you wasting a driver's time ordering something?
Because it's only $2, and she got a burrito.
First of all, yeah, the burrito is a burrito there coming, so that's delicious. Second, help. You call an ambulance or the fire department. You could probably get billed for that.
That's what I was gonna say. Fire department will bill you.
Yeah. So the best way and get a delicious meal is to get the Uber driver to help, which is again stupid. It's a stupid thing. It's a dumb idea. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get the positives out.
But what was crazy to me is if you actually go, and I went to her actual TikTok, like people were praising her for her quick thinking and her ingenuity, and I'm like, are people really that stupid? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
But first of all, why she's up there? We know why she's up there, and then she forgot to put something to jam the door. So now she's sitting there. I'm trapped, but I'm hungry.
Right.
Let me get a burrito and get this guy to help me.
Right. Let's just be honest. We all knew she was doing 420 a day early.
Yes, that's definitely what she was.
And the door
You're not
slammed
up
behind
there.
her,
First of all, you
and now
probably don't
she's
belong.
hungry. And she's
You're not
like,
allowed to be
"Oh,
up there. You're in there. You're not supposed to be there. You're doing that, and you're hungry. So that's what happened.
Now, Steve, didn't you say this is the same girl that locked herself out of?
Yeah,
a
it was
car or
being
something?
said, and I remember the
Yeah.
story, but it was being said in their chat last night that I mean, there were people. I think it was Chris, Real Rideshare, who does Show Me the Money Club too, and he was like, "That's the same girl," and I was like, and I said, "Is it though?" I was like thinking, "Are you kidding?" Or, but I think it is.
In New York City, a lot of people have slam locks to their doors and other areas. I do not know why, because I did it once, got locked out, had to break in and open the lock, never again. But for some reason, people
To your own
will,
car?
not car, doors,
Okay,
like your apartment doors.
the other thing she did is what I'm saying is she locked herself in her car.
How do you lock yourself in your car?
That's my point. I
Couldn't figure out
mean,
the child lock
I don't know if you guys
system?
remember. I think it was I saw in the comments last night too. I think Bud Soda said it, and then somebody might have corrected him because it was either Family Guy or one of those type shows where Peter's in the car and he can see the keys,
That's yes, that's
and he's
Family
like,
Guy, yeah.
and he's like scraping at the window. He doesn't know
Like
what to
a dog.
do. Yeah. So I mean, like,
I remember that scene.
I don't
that's
know
pretty
if
funny.
like, I mean, like that's when you said that last night. That's all I was thinking, or when Chris came in and said that, that's all I was thinking about was like her, like even like looking at her keys on the ground, and going, "How can I get those?" Well, first, get on medication, get some help. Are you sure you should be living alone? You know? I mean, but yeah, I mean, maybe I wasn't even really. I don't even know if that got mentioned last night, Hannibal. Maybe it was just she was smoking up there. That's why she didn't call.
Wait,
the
you didn't finish the story. Kim, did the Uber Eats driver saved her? Did she?
Yeah.
You figured out? Oh, well then.
Did she check the box of handed to her?
Yeah, that was the whole big joke. They're like, what happens if it's leave at door and the person just left it at the front door?
Shit, what if she got like 7 orders at the front door?
7 burritos.
I mean, if it's only 2-3 stories, like, and it's a Chipotle burrito, I can huck that up to her. I know, I got you. Like,
and hopefully she tipped him that person very well. Hopefully, then it's not that bad of a story. It's stupid, but
yeah, I guess the worst part comes in that she's that girl from Daily Dot who also locked herself in her car. So I mean,
she needs to be more responsible,
or
a little bit more responsible,
or she needs a handler or something.
or at least tip really well every time she locks herself on the roof. Yeah. I mean, I don't care if she tipped really well. I'm gonna do it. I'm like, hey, let me in. Dummy's on the roof again.
Dummy.
Because everybody in that, like, Hannibal knows, everybody around there would know she's stupid for doing
it's like if you continue to have bad, like you seem careless, you have a pattern of behavior that
right.
You better pay to deal with this.
Okay, this is I mean, it just goes to our the Instacart hate campaign. I don't know if it's a campaign, but it is now. So, but
wait, you sure it's not a strike, Steve?
Listen, Instacart shopper. This is in Central Ohio. An Instacart shopper now, and this is all over the articles. There's video on it too, and also the still video footage before you hit play. She looks just like Lori Lightfoot, which even is freakier. Ooh. So it's like Beetlejuice. Like, what the hell, dude? But Instacart shopper accused of scamming 100+ customers, not 100 times or not like 100 items, 100 customers plus. And they're now prosecuting her on all of them. They've got video footage. They've got everything.
Wait, you got to read that story.
She's doing the exact same thing. She's just adding whatever. She started small. She was growing.
Like after 10, they was like, well, let's see how far she takes it.
I think she got away. I think she was at a point in the beginning. She was like, this is where I say, like, we keep hearing these. Everybody, you know what? Everybody demand. If you use Instacart, guess what? Tell once your driver picks up the order. I had this piece of advice given to me the other day, and I think it's brilliant. Once you pick up the order and you're at the store, or make sure that you take the receipt and put it in the bag. You're not supposed to, but do it.
Oh, I do it every single time.
Yeah,
even
do it
even
every time,
DoorDash,
you guys. Let's people start
Spark,
seeing what
anything.
the store price was.
Yeah.
Let them see.
Like I don't care. I don't care if they get a receipt. That's not my problem. That's the company's problem if they're ripping them off like that.
Yeah.
I do thank you guys for even bringing that story up. I was pretty naive when you talking about it a couple of weeks ago, where no, this is happening often. I'm thinking, no, because I'm thinking like myself, I would never do that. Like I will never ever attempt to do that. Working with places, being in places where you have access to things in people's homes, you would never take something and walk away. So to think of someone else doing that, but I was definitely naive to realize that even if you're taking one Snickers bar out of and charging it, that's a problem. And I think with that story, with that person, that shopper, it's a pattern of behavior, and it's like, I got away with it. And then you keep one-upping yourself, and some people have this ability that won't get caught, and then it's out of control, and 100 people are now being affected from this.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where people are forming bad habits. I mean, like, look, I mean, they're doing. I mean, I guarantee that's part of it. I mean, sure, they might do that anyway, but every one of these stories where they're getting away with more and more and more before they're caught, it starts off with like a pack of gum.
Yeah,
pack of gum, and now I think they're like, hey man, I get paid $8 for an hour shop. You know what? I'm owed this. I really think that's becoming a mentality.
Possible.
Like,
too.
I need to eat too. I'm putting it on this. I don't care. And they literally, maybe even people who had a moral compass years ago that wouldn't have done it are now like, dude, I don't care. I'm doing this. Screw Instacart. But what I don't think they understand is, first of all, just it's wrong across the board. But second of all, you're not screwing Instacart. You're screwing the customer.
Yes.
So
exactly.
I mean, you're only hurting you're hurting people that are already getting scammed themselves by Instacart.
I'm just wondering if it's like when I was in retail, if I had a sales associate or a manager that we suspected and we were building a case, we kept letting it go until it became like felony level. So that way, when we prosecuted, it was almost like an ironclad case that they were getting like prosecuted past the felony level. So I'm just wondering if they kind of did that in this case. Like, let's see how much of a case we can build on this woman to,
a certain amount of money needs to be taken to elevate to a felony level of a crime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, the problem, Bud Soda, is that all of my orders are $8. I mean, I'm not kidding. I've shown Gary. I've shown you, Bud. So I've shown everybody. Like, that's all I get. $8, sometimes $1 or $2. I mean, I don't get. There's nothing else in this market.
It says $1,000 in goods is what you have to take for to become a felony. But well, that says majority of states are between 1,000 and 1,500. But I mean, a good lawyer could argue that has to be at one time. So even if she did it 100 times, they could probably knock that down to a misdemeanor
because of the time, the amount of time it took for her to do the
right. It's not like she did one, because a felony has to be all in one. It can't be added up over time, from what I understand. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer, but from the way it reads, it says it's at that one point. But
so here's one example of the stories that I was reading about.
But we will say, hold on, before you do that, Steve, don't do anything that can get you deactivated, even if Steve tells you to.
No, don't. Yeah, you're right, Christopher Taylor. I absolutely think that could. However, I do know DoorDash. I know Instacart customers do have the right to ask for a receipt too. They do. I think it's some hidden thing, but they can't. There is a thing where you can say, "I want the receipt" or something. So, but you probably never see that. So yes, if that is a risk you're taking, straight up. So I mean, I'm not recommending it. However, I'm recommending it either, because that's not stealing. That's enlightening people.
Hey, Brandon. Now, Brandon's show's right after ours now, right?
Yep.
So
as soon as we're done here.
Yeah. Don't forget, go check out Dash and Grandpa right after this stream.
Right. So yeah.
That's outrageous. You can be deactivated for handing the person that brought the goods a receipt. I put the receipt and I gave it, that's grounds for deactivation. I don't know if there's any reason not to use Instacart as a driver. I don't, unless you're having a great market. It don't seem like it's good at any level.
I don't know, but I thought it was weird though. The other day I did a Sephora Instacart order, and it was actually a really good order. And there was actually instructions that says receipt must be in bag so the customer can return item. So I thought that was strange.
Was
just
it like a
because-
gift receipt though that didn't have a price?
No,
Oh,
it was an actual Sephora receipt, and there was like actually instructions on like the Instacart app from Instacart. Ensure receipt is in the bag so customer can return product.
Well, but what is Sephora though? That's makeup.
Yeah,
Okay, so
There may be an agreement for them, right?
it
right.
might
That's
be,
that's
but
what I was wondering too.
I just
You
thought it
know,
was interesting.
Maybe the clothing, makeup, you can get away with that. Probably not food, I would guess.
They can't take it back.
Nobody's returning food.
What about Instacart furniture?
I don't know. You know what? Let's order a piece of furniture for your house and see how it comes out.
Let's wait till we're up in the mountains and we'll order like a whole lawn set. Like I said, we'll have them set it up, the works. And then we'll go, I don't want it. It doesn't look good there. Can you put it up
Can you
there?
move it over there? Yeah, the big hill. The big hill.
You laugh. It may happen sooner than later.
Hey, Hannibal, you weren't here last week, but I don't know if you caught that was just a quicker story we talked about. But to be honest, Instacart is doing furniture delivery now.
Ooh,
Anything over $35 of furniture, which is nothing. That's any piece of furniture. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And so anything over $35 of furniture is free delivery.
Wait, gig-wise, did you do it with Instacart?
Oh my God. Did you get paid $300 or did you just break your back for two?
Yeah, because small
Tim.
refrigerator is heavy.
I
Not
wouldn't
even
be
a
able to
small
do
one
it.
is.
Yeah, even a mini fridge is what, 50 pounds, 75
Yeah, that's
pounds?
still a workout.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Josh? What's up, Zach? What's up, Brandon? And what's up, Tim? Saw you guys come in. I don't know.
Oh,
if
he
anybody else
said
had
it
any.
was with Spark. It was a Spark. Okay.
But here's one of the examples. This is one of the 100+ customers that she did this to. So the lady went to her credit card app. She saw that she had been charged for the amount that was intended, which was around 150. She didn't remember the exact amount, I guess, because this is a quote. And then when she went back about 2 hours later, it was over $700.
Oh,
Damn.
What is wrong with the Instacart? And I'm not just picking on what's wrong with the Instacart app.
how does something like that go through? Like that's
Yeah.
that's what like oh my God, like how does Instacart allow that much on their credit card to go through without it being like decline? Like
One thing I do know about the Instacart app is it does a ghost charge of more than like Dumpling does on me. So like if they
Way
put
much.
a lot
more.
yeah,
lot
it's like,
more.
it might be like it might even be percentage based on your order. However, even if it is like if she only ordered 150, let's say they're even taking half on a ghost charge. We're gonna ghost charge 75 till this is done. Okay, well, why is he able to add 700?
Right.
You did a ghost charge to make sure the card was active, and you're using way too much. You should be doing $10, $15 if you're just trying to make sure that it's available to shop.
But what happens if that girl, the Instacart girl, went to do, I'm making this up, the $750, but then the customer didn't have that in her credit card limit? Like, what would happen then? Like, what happens if her credit card limit, she did $100 worth of food, her credit card limit was only like $200, and this person now charged Instacart $750? What happens at that point?
I mean, I think they just it gets run, and it's like there. I think I don't know, Gary. You might know this better than me. Is it just run through then to the credit card? If there what if there wasn't enough to cover 700 on the card?
Well, everything is charged. Well, I mean, depends on who they're using. I'm assuming they use Stripe, just like Uber and Lyft and all
Okay.
that.
So assuming that,
Yeah, and so what they'll do is they'll put a pending charge on there at first, which then they have, I'd have to look up Stripe's thing again. I think they have 7 days to actually process it for the final amount. And so that's probably what they're doing. They're running that ghost charge at first to make sure the card's valid, just a pre-auth. And then they go back later and actually do the charges.
Yeah, I know there is, JP, and actually you can find the story on ridesharerodeo.com. You guys, you can look into this, and there's a couple, but we do have to. I will not rest tonight if I at least don't. I feel like we're getting near that time where I can do it too, because I'll be able to stop near the hour. But we need to talk about Julie Sue a little bit. So yes, there is more to this story, but our guess. The point is, JP, is that we are talking about this every week, and every week the amounts are going up.
Right.
Every week in a different city. The stores are kicking Instacart out. I mean, big grocery things are starting to say, you're gone. We'll just do it ourselves. I mean, I was saying here, like you can get same day delivery from Kroger for $5.99, unlimited items. And if you want it in an hour, it's $7.99. And you pay in-store prices, and you can use digital coupons, and you can use your gas rewards.
Oh.
So to me, it's like, I mean, why would you even use Instacart ever again?
I've never used them ever as a
I know, but
customer.
if you did, why would you now? Because like here, even like on YouTube, on TV, everything, King Soopers and Kroger are running ads round the clock about this. I mean, they are clearly pissed off, and they understand it's not just as easy as saying, get out Instacart when you're that big. They realize they need to make sure they don't drop the ball here and do it in a very wise way. But it's almost like you guys are criminals and you're working with us. And yeah, you helped us through the pandemic, but it's time for you I think that would be the language in a quick summary, but it's time for you to get the hell out.
Like, you suck, leave.
Yeah. Because I mean, and that's the other thing. We were asking, how are they getting it delivered then? Well, they are using employees. They are using Kroger employees to deliver it. So, and again, I mean, $5.99, I get the in-store prices. So I'm going to save, 20 to 30% on just the groceries. I'm going to save the $50, $60 processing, all the fees from Instacart. I'm not going to have to tip. Well, I'll tip that guy, but I don't have to worry. Does the tip get to him? What's going on? Like I'll just tip, and I'm going to actually assume he's getting it because he's a W-2. That would be a much hairier, messier thing to try and cover up than these gig apps do. So, but yeah, so I don't know. And yeah, I mean, we see it all the time on a lot of apps now, but I'm telling you, this isn't just my normal hate of Instacart. This is getting ridiculous. And it's like, I feel like half of the Instacart community is doing this on some level. I know it's not half, but I'm just saying, I feel like more than we, like Hannibal was saying. He was like, I don't know, you guys. I'm starting to think even more than I thought, which I was thinking it was a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about. I mean, here's one of my thoughts. I do honestly believe that if you're doing it on any kind of level like this, you're going to start getting the book thrown at you for jail. You are going to go to jail in a big way, because we got into a bad habit in this country during the pandemic of. I mean, look at San Francisco. You can walk into a Walgreens with pillowcases and just fill them up. Say bye to the cashier and just walk out. There can be a cop on the corner, and you can say, "Move aside." Yeah, across the road.
I had a ring of, when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I had a ring of professional shoplifters who would come in with bags. We had suitcases. They would take our suitcases and fill them up, and they knew we couldn't touch them. They knew the dollar amount that they had to be under, and they said they always called you names, and one of them said, called me, the B word. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow. Like, it was just like, you're just going to work, taking the stuff. They know they can't touch me. Like, even if you call the cops on me, I'll get out and I'll be back tomorrow.
Hey, I don't mind people calling me beautiful.
Somehow I don't think that was the word that she used.
So everybody start calling Gary beautiful.
Yeah, I'm beautiful.
Guys, girls, everybody. That's his new name.
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
get you a hat.
It says beautiful.
Okay, I want to see how into this we can really get. I mean, you guys, I really I've been talking to these people. I talked to them before this happened, the hearing yesterday, and then the push for Julie Sue was today. Yesterday's was a nightmare. But damn, if Kim, again, I gotta say it because they'll probably watch this or listen to the audio podcast that drops tomorrow. But damn, if Kim Cavan and Karen Anderson
You got a question here real quick, Steve.
Oh, 172.
Guessing Curry run.
Yeah, but so I covered up the amount on the screenshot where it says this is yours, and I posted on a community post. I said, what do you think that I got for this? Because it said you have to be at the location at 5 a.m.
Ooh.
It was 11 miles at 5 a.m. So I had to get up at 4:30.
It is beautiful, Zach. Beautiful, Gary.
So 50.
I'm gonna get you
I left my house, drove to it, picked it up, drove it where it was going, and then I was close back to my house. It's still so early. I came back home. From my door to my door was like I think I said 55, but it was I actually was watching 58 minutes for $172.
Nice.
All you slackers out there. Early bird gets the worm.
My question was for me to. I think my community post question was for me to get up at 4:30 in the morning, and it was covered, which it showed the 4:30 part, or the be there at 5. I said, what would this take for you to go out? And like Gig Geezer put $1,000. I'm like, dude, come on, man. It's like $100 a mile, man.
Geezer making that money though. So
no, but I mean, a lot of people were going 500. I'm like, oh, and then. Actually, Jersey Man was pretty close. I think he said 120 or something, and then somebody else said 140. So people were close.
No, it would definitely have to be over $100 for me to get up at 5 a.m.
Well, it was.
How presentable do you have to be?
Okay, so let me ask you three: would you have done that
for 172? Yeah,
definitely.
Again,
but for 50, no.
Right, but again, let's remember this is Curry. You're seeing it up front. I mean, you see your pay and.
Better question. What's the least amount would you take to the most? Like,
to do that again?
To do the least you can take.
And I get up. See, when I get up early and do paint, I just get like I have everything ready to go, and I set an alarm. I jump up. I get my clothes on. 6:30. I'm out the door. I'm there before 7, which is 7's usually the earliest pickup, unless it's going out of state or something. So this one was kind of weird. And Hannibal, as you know, it came in and it was one of those ones that just increased like boom, 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 because it was like I could tell every driver wasn't even looking at the amount. They're like, dude, 5
a.m. They was looking at the time, 5 a.m. Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, like it takes a lot to motivate me to get up early.
Yeah,
like,
but dude, that's what a lot of. I mean, dude, that's what
you would have your whole day in by like 6 o'clock.
I mean, that's what a lot of gig workers make in a day.
Yeah, I get
I'm pointing
that,
it out because last mile is hot space, you guys.
Well,
it doesn't have to be Curry.
I get that a lot of people make that per day, but for me personally,
really
5
nice
a.m.
got off the Curry wait list.
Yeah. I'm sure. You should have signed up when Hannibal did.
I think Steve is all out of spots.
No, we're coming into summer. Things should start. Yeah. And I know they're picking up new markets. There's all kinds of stuff. You guys got to realize, by the way, that's good that Kim said that, because you got to realize that a lot of these markets, like they're so competitive. Like I once asked Curry why they don't have a map that helps people to see if it's in their town before they even want to get on and all this. And they're like, dude, if we put a town, every competitor we have would be on that town like nothing. They'd be there the next day hitting up every account because they think it's a hot market. So they're like, we don't put any of that up. And then I've noticed none of the other companies do either. If they only work in certain states, they'll tell you that, but they won't tell you markets that are good or, yeah, here's where you should have, I mean, they just try not to say it. But for the most part, it really is just the fact that they're completely transparent and they run the app correctly. They don't want to have oversaturation to too much of a degree. And thank God they don't. That's how every app should work, in my opinion. Because look at DoorDash. I mean, look at DoorDash now. By oversaturating by 6,000% of the drivers needed at any given time, it allows them to just do what Joe, Let's Play DoorDash, is the name of his channel. It allows them to Let's Play DoorDash. Let's see who will take $1. Let's see who will do this for $0.25.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a 6,000% oversaturation rate for your, I mean, we know that
But I mean, as a business though, you would too. Though I mean,
What?
you just would like you would keep paying as low as you could. Like if you knew that you had
I wouldn't.
10,000
You know
drivers
what?
for one delivery,
Honestly, Gary, I would go. I am a businessman, but I would go work for a different business. I couldn't work on that kind of scamming level. I couldn't be a part of a team like that. I mean, honestly, I've had jobs where I make lots of money. I've had jobs where I don't make as much. I like some jobs better than others. Maybe the jobs I didn't like as much paid a lot more. But I wouldn't work for a straight up scamming company that is like, hey, find a way to pay these people a quarter. Like, how would you sleep at night?
no, I'm not saying scam the people. I'm just saying like if you knew that you could get something delivered, like I don't know, me and my buddy was doing something, and like we found out that you can literally pay $10 versus $100. Why would you pay the $100? Because you can get away with paying $10 and somebody's going to happily take it.
Okay, Light, I can tell you for a fact they're onboarding crazy right now. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Light on that though, because Curry, they keep telling me they're working on my market, and nobody in my market sees Curry orders.
Well, so here's the thing, Gary. I mean, like you're on Curry,
right? And I don't get any Curry orders, even
right?
with the SUV.
But here's my thing. So they're working on your market, but you're still on it. They don't. The last thing they want.
But I got
the
on
last
it
thing
because
they want
I
is
was in
another
Florida.
driver, though.
But I got on it when they first came out, and I was in Florida.
Right. I'm just saying that. Of course, dude. When that's exactly the point. You know what I mean? They're not good if they're getting near saturation. They're not Uber, Lyft, and the other crappy platforms. They're not going to put you on. You're right. I mean, and I think we've seen proof because I know I've done live curries where the curry team has pulled people off during the live, and we know those people. They're in all of you people in chat know them. We've had 20, 25 people pulled off the list in curry lives. So. Show up for the last mile, guys, is all I can say. Wasn't that plug? Okay, I got to do Julie Sue thing before we do that. Real quick, I will give you a summary of another state, though, that did end. That is actually, I'm happy with this. Kansas actually locked down their law. So HB 2020 in Kansas establishes, this is from April 19th. This is yesterday. Establishes rules for determining whether a driver or transportation network company is an independent contractor. Under current state law, transportation network companies are businesses that use an online application or system to connect people with company drivers who provide prearranged rides. HB 2020 clarifies that transportation network company drivers are independent contractors. So win. There's one win.
Wait, which state was that? Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Kansas. Yeah. We already knew that. Kansas said we.
Well, Kansas was pushing for it, but now it's done.
Yeah.
North Dakota, same thing. I know there's not a lot of population up there, but North Dakota did it too.
The whole 12 drivers up there. Good job, man. You guys are independent contractors
together.
But hey, guys, these are still wins. I mean, you got to have some wins along with, because there's a lot of losses and there's even more coming. So.
Wait, not to be political here, but what color are the states that are saying you're just independent contractors versus the states that are saying we're going to take care of you?
I think it's here's actually, to be honest, here's the bigger problem now. It's not really because a lot of states' colors have changed over the years. We know that, but here's the problem now is that they're Michigan was the first example. They're dismantling the right to work states. That's wrong. That is wrong, straight up.
Well, I'm just saying you're going to see a.
So a right to work state might have been red. Now it's purple.
Right, but you're going to see you're going to see a pattern though with these laws that come out like that.
Yeah.
You just are.
Of course, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how every state works. You if you live in a blue state, expect blue laws. You live in a red state, expect red laws. I'm not even, again, like Gary said, it's not political. It's how it's
going to fall. Yeah.
But if you live in those states, expect to live by those color laws.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't go to NYC and expect to have Republican laws.
Right. I wouldn't move to Vermont and go, why can't I be an independent contractor?
Right.
I want to talk to Bernie.
Give me Bernie. Give me Bernie. They're gonna be
Never
like,
mind. I'll
"Bernie
just
Mac?"
drive over to his house. I mean, there's only 11 people that live here, like Gary said about North
Yeah.
Dakota. So. Okay, so you guys, I posted an article today, and on RiDESHARE Rodeo. It's called. The title is "Who is Julie Sue and Why Should Every Worker Know About Her?" And there's 5 articles in there. I'm gonna talk about one tonight, and I'm actually gonna read it to you guys. See what you guys think. Okay, so her Senate panel, the nomination process started today for Julie Sue. So Biden wants her to be the Secretary of Labor. She is the one who caused again, go watch the committee hearing and you'll learn a lot about her. They were clarifying even the numbers, and they were arguing even the other side, was it 60 billion or was it 68 billion? And I'm going, does it matter?
Yeah,
This lady should be locked up 1 million times over or sent to like Epstein Island or something. I don't know. Like I don't know. But like, regardless, she really, if you read about her, she really is a train wreck that's going to do a lot of damage to a lot of us. And that's the one good thing that's happening, is that the right is obviously opposing her, but even the left, a lot of people on the left are like, no, dude, she's whack job. She's going to take stuff way too far. And she has openly admitted, she's put out some things saying that she will be. Her goal is to change the way the labor laws read in this country in every state, including right to work states. And she will be pushing harder than Marty Walsh to make her goal is to make everybody an employee and everybody be in a union. Everybody. So you guys go figure that. Karen Anderson in about 30 minutes into the thing, I mean, there's too many highlights, but about 30 minutes into the committee hearing, Karen Anderson just ripped her and just went off on what AB5 did. And then at the end, she's like, and as far as I know, and anybody here can correct me, was there one job created? Because we always ask that. You guys have even probably heard that. No, crickets. Nobody even answered. And nobody could think of one job that was created from AB5, and yet it destroyed 4 million careers. And I'm not talking about gig economy people, because they got Prop 22.
Well, because we know it didn't create anything. It just relabeled everything.
What do you mean?
Like that's all. Like all these jobs that they're saying, oh, we're going to create jobs. No, they don't create them. They just rename them.
Right, but it didn't even, like, dude, if you're going to take 4 or 5 million like people who have 40-year careers and businesses and nonprofits and everything, and end their livelihoods, where are you placing them? I mean, you got to make some jobs. If you're going to kill 5 million jobs, you at least got to make 2-3 million to make it look like you made an effort. You can't create zero.
Right. Well, that's
you can't
what I'm
kill
saying.
5 million and create zero.
Like they take away 5 million, and then they relabel or restructure and give back like 500,000, and be like, oh yeah, we created these jobs. No, you didn't.
Yeah. I figured it would be a lot of like government type jobs during the pandemic, but they didn't even do that. And yet somehow she lost all the money that, if you remember, I don't know how many people were in tune with this, but during the pandemic, California, we were all going, a lot of states that needed the unemployment assistance, things like that, it really slowed down. The systems were bad, all kinds of things. And a lot of hackers got in there first and pulled some money out. But in California, Julie Sue lost, well, one side claims 30 billion, one side claims 36 billion. So I'll even be nice. Let's just say 30 billion. She just lost 30 billion. Sorry. Just 30 billion.
Just
30 billion. 30
That's
billion.
That's
yeah,
it.
I mean, like,
wait, how much does she make a year?
That's a fun weekend for me. So I don't know.
I mean, 30 billion. I
What
mean,
are
you guys
doing
hear me
on
say
that
this all the
weekend for
time.
30 billion.
Or
Pay me.
I mean, it's Hannibal's post about the ham and cheese sandwich. Those are on me, because I got 30 billion. I'm just gonna throw it around.
Everyone chat. Yeah, everyone gets one.
She is actually worth. I just looked it up. 5 million is her net worth. Somebody give me 5 million. I'll blow billions of dollars.
Yeah,
Like no joke. I would even make it. I won't even hide it. I'll hookers and cocaine.
All right. So here is here's one of the articles, and I'm just going to kind of flow through it as I can. So Capitol Hill's opposition to Miss Sue's confirmation bid is mounting for several reasons. There are serious questions about Miss Sue's competence as a National Review editorial opposing the pick stated one of the quote unquote worst state level benefit frauds in American history under Julie Sue. During her recent tenure as the Golden State's labor secretary with an here in this one it's 32.6 with an estimated 32.6 billion in COVID pandemic assistance being paid to scammers, while Californians who actually qualified and were in need were put on waiting lists. They were curried. Get it? I'm sorry, guys. I have to make some light of this. I've been dealing with this crap. But the single most important reason Miss Sue richly deserves to be voted down by the Senate is her relentless championing of AB5, a 3-year-old union-backed California law that, in its current form, makes it virtually impossible for workers in certain fields targeted by labor bosses to support themselves and their family through independent contracting. Miss Sue, who has been accurately characterized as an architect of AB5, and her cohorts implausibly claim that there is nothing wrong with trampling workers' freedom to be an independent contractor because contractors would really prefer to be classified as payroll employees. That's her quote. That's what Julie Sue says.
Yeah, nothing like stepping on the little guy here.
But she's literally not only speaking for a group, she's speaking for the whole country. You'd all rather be employees. You just would. Okay, don't tell me what I'd rather do. You don't know me, and you have no clue how my life works. So
Steve would rather have fish hooks in his mouth.
The reality is, so wait there. Did I say that? Yeah. So the reality is that surveys over the past few months have shown that vast majority of actual contractors prefer independent work arrangements that give them flexibility to set their own hours, work with multiple clients, and in many cases own the equipment they use. And just recently, it has become crystal clear that the leading AB5 champions in Sacramento never believed their own rhetoric about the supposed unfairness of independent contractor arrangements. So, if you read the other stories too, basically what came out in the hearing, what is in all these articles, is that everything that happened during the pandemic with AB5. Pretty much everybody's now getting caught. They knew it wouldn't work. This confuses me a lot. Even the people who passed it knew there was not a chance of this working. And now we want to put her in charge of the labor for the entire country. There's a lot more to this. I'll talk about it a little more tomorrow on Driver Nation, and we will talk about, and I will really try and get a nice breakdown for Kim's Tuesday. That we can kind of just shut the door on it about her, because you guys need to be aware of her. If she gets confirmed, we're going to be in some serious problems. Luckily, there are a handful of Democrats who are saying, no, she is way too far. But like Ilium, what's her name from Minnesota, she was grilling Kim and Karen today, and they were just throwing it back. She was shutting right back up. She couldn't say a word. And then Stacey Abrams, she was getting in their face, and I felt like Kim was going to attack her. I mean, she was like, Karen was, you could tell, I mean, both of them, this was their first House hearing in DC not in the state. Like Kim Cavan lives in this Kim's state, New Jersey, and she's been down to that courthouse a lot. But in DC, Kim Cavan and Karen Anderson have never been in the committee. I mean, this was a full committee hearing. So, and they were 2 of 6 panelists, and they crushed it. Karen, you could tell, she was just putting her AB5 information out and the livelihoods it's destroyed in some of the stories. Or Kim was ready to just burst out of the seat, and they set her next to the union representative for the gig economy, for us, not just traditional gig, like she's talking about freelance writers and stuff, but they sat her next to her. Kim was literally doing like this. Like she was actually grossed out by her. She was like moving to the side, moving her stuff over.
Just kind of on the
I
chair.
honestly think because I was watching her in the shots, they weren't doing just like my face or something. They'd have like mine and Hannibal's would be in the shot too. So she was in the shots with Kim, and I felt like Kim knew she was in elbowing distance. And I felt like she thought she was going to throw one. So she was just moving away just in case. Because she's like, I'm just going to level this lady. So kudos to Kim. Thank you for not leveling her, but thank you for putting up a fight that, I mean, literally
Punch her in the face.
Kudos.
I mean, what?
But yeah, you guys, there's a lot more to this. We will talk about it on Driver Nation tomorrow. We're at an hour 10. And like I said, I'm losing my voice a little even because I've been on the phone with a lot of these people. And there is a ton happening. And now it's happening at a much more lightning speed. It's like, I think Prop 22 isn't nearly as bad as I used to. I don't think it's good, but compared to what's coming down the pipe, I think it's not as bad as I thought it was. And I never thought I'd say that, but also I want Marty Walsh back because he was a scary human being to me. Julie Sue, like I told you guys last week, if you look her up and Google it, only one thing comes up, nothing else. You can click news, images, anything. Only one thing comes up, a major train wreck. That's it. If you Google her, it just shows a train wreck. That's it. There's no stories, nothing. That's all Google has about her. She's a train wreck. And she's a train wreck for everybody. And that's why even both parties are like, wait.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you actually did Google somebody and Google just put this bee is a train wreck? big bold letters.
You don't need to know about her. She's bad. It'd be interesting to see if Hannibal has got me using, I don't use it often at all, but I play with the chat thing a little bit. It'd be interesting to see if Julie Sue was elected. How do you see, or somehow wording that question, how do you see this playing out for the American worker?
It's going to tell you the same thing it tells you when you try to Google any other.
But I can't get political with you.
Yeah. It's going to say it doesn't have a view and it can't predict the future.
Yeah, but couldn't you just keep tweaking the wording until you'd be like proving the system to be stupid? Like, look, dude, I know that, we know she's a heavy hitter on the wrong side. We know she has some just crazy views that won't work. It's like, how is she going to create? Because, also, you guys, we've always said 59 million gig workers, and that includes app-based and traditional, self-employed, freelancers, everything in this country. It is now, in 2022, it's been recounted, 65 million workers in the gig economy.
Wow.
That's 36% of the American workforce. So thank you, Julie Sue. Go ahead. End every one of those jobs. I really want to see what happens.
State's paying, $60-something an hour. Why would you not be a gig worker?
Right. I mean, I guess my point is like Ron and I did that thing this week, and Ron had a very good point. I was like, well, what's going to happen in Connecticut when they push this 36? And he was like, well, I made more than that at the beginning of the pandemic. I'm like, so did I, but that's not what I'm talking about. What's going to happen when they push it? He goes, I'm like, because if you do active time, you get 36, you get $1.30 a mile. He goes, my guess is you'd work 6 hours and you'd get about a half hour of active time because they're going to have to jack the prices so high. Nobody's going to be using it anymore. You're going to have 10 million drivers moving to Connecticut because they think that that's a real thing, and I mean, bottom line is he made a good point, you probably, I don't know if it'd be that dramatic, but yeah, you probably, so you're going to make $36 for 6 hours because they're just not going to give you work. My bigger thing is that I actually think that, and we've talked about this many times, that I just think the gig companies need to leave. If they do this, just leave and just show this state what's what. Sorry, Connecticut.
Bounce out.
They'll be back. They'll be back because the state will need them and they'll have to work out a deal. So, I don't know. I really hope that the state, I'm very concerned after what I saw in the Senate in the hearing, that a lot of states might try and go along with some of this crap. And if they do, it's going to set a precedent to other states. And it really just could cause a nightmare for what all of us are doing, no matter which apps you use, no matter what your goals are, no matter how you play all this, no matter how you multi-app, all that. It could all change to the point where there's like, we think it's bad now from what I've been talking about for the last 3 days with people. It could get 5-10 times worse this calendar year. And we were all looking at hoping at least it got pushed out a while and got challenged in courts. But now some of these states just want it. They're just like, yeah, let's bring that. Let's do that. So that said, you guys, is there a happy something we can end on? Is anybody?
John will be back next week, right?
That's our
Go
happy
Diamondbacks.
moment.
That's
Yeah.
the shining light.
He'll be back.
Oh,
Unless it's
God.
another baseball game, then he may not be.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll be back too. Unless something happens.
Unless there's another cartoon to go watch.
Hey, did you watch the Mario movie, Gary?
I did.
How was it? You enjoyed it?
It was all right for what it was.
You don't play video games.
I mean, my wife enjoyed it more than I did.
Okay, that's good. All right. That's
Wait,
good.
JP, are you saying that? I think like you're talking to a panel of people who we all live in pretty expensive states. Man.
No, we
Like,
don't. No, we do not. No, we do not.
I do.
My state is
I
cheap
do.
as shit. Now, you three live in expensive states.
Well, but your other state's Florida.
It's still not as expensive as any of your states.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine
I
is
mean,
Gary.
Then
Mine
we
is Gary.
do have Miami.
Hannibal, Kim, and I live in
Miami's
very
expensive
expensive
but-
places.
yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Connecticut.
I feel like Hannibal takes the cake first. New York.
Really? I think
Yeah.
Jersey may be more expensive than New York.
You
I
think?
right?
I don't even think you
Yeah,
guys have a
it's
clue what Colorado's like. It's not like yeah, I'm sure you're.
It's all bad.
It's bad. It's bad. It's
all
bad.
We gotta figure
It's
it
just
out.
expensive. Taxes are
Yeah.
expensive. Car insurance,
Yeah.
everything is just expensive.
Yeah.
And nothing's going down. And that's another thing they brought up at the committee, which I found ridiculous, is that they said 86% of the committee thinks that by the third quarter of this year, we will be in a recession. Guys, that is political BS. We are in a recession. It can get worse, but we are there. I don't know why they keep saying we're not. I mean, usually when you get there, it's best just to talk about it, even media, and get out of it. But I don't know why they're not. I mean, like if we're not there, I don't have like I've lived through other recessions. This is absolutely a recession. I don't know what the new qualification for a recession is, but like if this isn't it, it's bad. Because I don't know, cost of living, not just gig apps, jobs, people quitting, people getting hired on, people getting let go, companies closing. I mean, like things are not going well.
Talk about if all this actually comes to life. Talk about recession and inflation. Holy moly, it's gonna go through the roof.
Actually, looking this up, Denver is more expensive to live in than New Jersey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, Hannibal, you win the cake there. Like you're double their numbers.
I was gonna say, there's no way that New York is
Yeah,
not.
no,
Yeah,
no.
I read somewhere that I think there's some states your buying power, if you made six figures, I forgot what state they were saying. They were saying some random state, is equivalent of a New Yorker earning $300,000.
Yeah.
The buying power of what you can afford. You need to you go to another state and make $100,000 and you live like a king. You need $300,000
To live in
the
New York
same-
City,
live in
yeah.
New York City, where I live.
I mean, this comment speaks volumes too.
Well,
But
Walmart's
so
are
does
closing
Ray.
in certain spaces for certain other reasons as well. But
Yeah,
yes,
but
that's
I'm
what it
just saying when Walmarts are closing,
is.
you might want to look up, see if the sky's full.
Sky's falling.
We'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
Well,
We
But-
all will.
we all will.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an ugly road. And I don't know about you guys. Again, we all have kids, different ages, all of us, but it's tough. It's tough to raise a kid. It's tough to go out and buy the groceries for the kid now. It's tough to go out and everything that I'm a single parent. I have my son all the time, 7 days a week. it's getting more expensive by the month. I'm not kidding. I mean, like everything's going up. Everything. My electric bill this winter is through the roof. I mean, I'm paying twice as much as I was last winter. I mean,
Speaking of kids, though, my kid is doing great, by the way.
yeah, congrats to Gary's
Yes.
good too.
He just finished
awesome.
battle stations, so that means that he will actually graduate boot camp in 2 weeks.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yes,
Awesome, man.
so proud of him.
And then
How-
what? Does he get some time off?
No, he doesn't get any time off. He goes straight from there to Meridian, Mississippi for schooling.
Oh, okay. I just meant like, and then after that, does he though? Before
Nope.
diploma?
Then he's either going to go to South Korea or Nevada.
That's a vast
Oh
difference.
man,
to be
I
honest,
wonder where he wants to go.
I'd go to South Korea.
He wants
I've
to go
done-
to
I've done
South
la-
Korea.
Yeah,
I've
we'll
done
go to South
laser
Korea,
work on
definitely.
that side. I've done laser work in Vietnam. And
Looks
we were
like- it
supposed
looks
to pop over to
amazing.
to South Korea. It
Great
is
food.
a beautiful place.
A lot of
I
people
mean, I
drinking.
know that some of you might be going, South
Yeah,
Korea?
yeah,
The
like-
one next to North Korea? Like,
Oh no,
it is a beautiful place. It's a
Like
great-
Light says here, though, the schooling and his actual deployments and stuff is way more chill than boot camp because he'll have his phone, his computer, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It must be killing him not to have like communication.
Oh yeah, he says this in his letter. He says, you know, he doesn't really mind it, but to send a text message that takes a week to get to you and then a week to get back to you is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Because you're writing a letter and it takes about a week for him to see it, and then he writes back, takes about a week for the like our letters are so crossed back and forth on what's going on.
because they're probably reading them too, like jail.
Yeah.
Is this okay? What are you doing yet? But I mean, like, I think it's not a bad thing, but part of it's I mean, Gary and I were talking about this, I think, off camera, but they have to break you. I don't mean that bad
Yes.
either.
Yeah.
They have to, because if you don't, then you're a loose cannon for them in a situation.
Right.
That's why it's not, people don't go into these things going, I just need to get my ass kicked around by somebody that I don't want to respect and want to fight. That's what I'm into, and that's what I'm going to go do. It's that you
Join
have
the
to do that.
Marines.
Yeah, if we don't have unity in our armed forces, we already have a very depleted armed forces at this point. If we don't have unity, they don't know how to carry anything out.
No.
So you can't. I know that Gary's son is going to get smarter from all of this, but at the same time, he's being taught, if I'm not wrong, to just get a directive and do it. You don't question it until you're that next level. You don't question nothing. You do what you're told. And
Yeah,
that's how it needs
I would
to
assume
be.
so. I would assume that's what they're being taught.
I mean, and that's what it needs to be. Otherwise, how good would we be defending the country? Like, I'm gonna just go over here. No. Everybody's over here. Yeah, I got it. I'm going rogue. Like, no, dude, come here. Like, it can't be a bunch of kindergartners out there. You can't be trying to round up everybody. You got to have them in line. So, but yeah, I guess that's it. That's the nice part. Is that congrats to Gary's kid, and go Diamondbacks. I guess that's what we could come up with. But honestly, the other thing, guys, is that, like I was been saying, Karen and Kim did an amazing job. So let's keep hoping that continues too, because people are listening, and I saw it. And that's why I'm saying go watch it. I know none of you want to. But I'm telling you, just scrub in and watch it. See if you don't get engaged. Give it 10 minutes. See if you don't get engaged. My guess is you'll watch the whole thing. You will go through ups and downs of being very mad and then hearing some leveling out, but you're going to hear some extremely interesting stuff.
Was this the one and only time that they had to go in front of the committee, or are they going to have more chances to plead?
Well, they were also trying to crush Julie Sue and
Right.
and end her from being nominated. So now we have to see how that plays out, how they'll handle the next move. Will probably be somewhat based on that. The problem is that the rule change goes into effect in May,
Right.
and they're about to nominate Julie Sue just in time for it. And her quotes, her things and everything is that from day one, she's going nationwide. Unions and W-2s. That's what you all are going to be. She said that we cannot have a balanced economy without one. And if you go listen to the committee hearing, you'll hear the explanation on why she thinks this. However, I believe everybody in here knows will hear in this that's not how it will work. And luckily we got people like Karen and Kim who pointed out that's not how it will work. And they did it in a way where everybody was listening. So again, so much kudos to them. I feel I feel proud to even know them as well as I do and to have had them on the podcast so many times. It was funny to see them in the house today, sitting right in front of everybody at that table. And I mean, Kim just was cool, calm, and collected. And Karen was her normal self. She was just reading horror stories and saying facts. But Kim was like a loaded cannon. She was ready to destroy. I loved it. But yeah, guys, I mean, if you're driving, I saw Bud Soda just said it. Listen to it, folks. No excuses. Listen as you work. I mean, that is a fact. Just put it on if you're driving around and listen to it. You're a gig worker. You should know what they said. And 80% of, I didn't expect it to be, but 80% of the conversation is gig economy. I didn't think it, I thought it'd be like 20% app based, 80% traditional. They actually went, it started with some traditional, but it really went into the gig economy deep. So you guys should everybody should be able to know what this says. Thank you, Tim. And we're going to sign off here, guys. When we do, please go over to Dashing Grandpa's live. You guys should know his channel. Maybe you're subscribed. If you're not, just type in Dashing Grandpa, or if somebody could share his link, that would be awesome. Because he's going to be because now that the light's out longer, he said he wanted to be out working later and that he wanted to do that. So he'll be doing it after ours. So let's all go over there and slap a like for him, at least, even if you're tired and you're going to bed or whatever. Go watch a few minutes, say hi, give him a like. To me, it's perfect that he's after us because like I've said before, Brandon's stream is very calming. It's very nice. And I feel very happy when I'm in there. And it used to be before so I'd get all calm and zen, and then I'd come in here, and some weeks we'd just be having fun. Some weeks we'd talk about some heavy stuff, and then I was unzenned. So now I feel like I need to go get zen.
It's good that he's after us until we run 30 minutes over.
Well, I mean, sorry guys. I mean, this is you know what? I did want to keep it in an hour, but this is important stuff. This is so important. And I know I'm not going to get all of you to watch that. It's not my video. I'm not trying to get you to watch a video of mine or anybody up here. I'm telling you, you need to watch this though. You need to watch this. If you are a full-time gig worker, you need to watch it. If you work 6 hours a week, you don't watch it. You'll have to deal with the effects, fine. But if you work full-time in the gig economy and you don't watch this, I have no idea why. You need to watch this. That said, thank you very much for joining us, and we will be back here next week on the Rodeo Roundtable. And join us tomorrow night in Driver Nation. It will be Tom and I. Hopefully, Tom and I. Gary won't be there, I know, but hopefully Tom shows up too. Tom, show up. He did show up last week. We're good. Have a good one, you guys, and we'll see you back here next week, if not before.